Hi, I'm Perry Black. Don't turn the channel, don't go away. Billy and Rachel are here with ministry opportunities for you to change hearts and lives one day at a time. We'll be right back. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm Perry Black, and our special guest is someone you've never ever seen on this show, Billy and Rachel Hubbard. Man, we're always blessed to have y'all on this show because all of our viewers know this show is really on Victory Television Network across the entire viewing audience at the state and some of the surrounding states to bring solutions to kids in care, foster care. And we are in a partnership. We don't even make light of that we are in a partnership with DCFS, Department of Children and Family Services. Is that what that stands for?
Sir.
Working together to bring solutions to foster care. In some cases, my prayer is to break the mold, out with the old, in with the new, creative abilities and ideas working together to help kids in care.
Yes.
Right.
And over the past 15 years that y'all have been directors, y'all been directors 13 years on staff, 15, is that about right?
11 and 15.
11 and 15. Y'all have been instrumental in developing connections and relationships with all of our friends, many godly friends at DCFS who share our hearts. Sometimes our philosophies are a teensy bit different, but I think if we talk philosophies, even you and I would have some different ideas. So that's okay. We've talked those through, hammer those through, work through that for kids.
Yeah.
And so don't allow differences of opinion to keep us from connecting and working together in our communities, our churches, to make a difference in foster care. Number one thing is there are about 350 children in waiting right now that are looking for a forever family, what we call an adoptive home. And that's something that I believe working with Project Zero, working with the Call, working with the other homes, we can solve that immediate problem if local churches would step up.
Yeah, so I just saw an announcement yesterday, and that number has gone down to 298.
Wow, that's
That's
awesome.
a big deal. So
Wow.
people are listening.
Yeah.
People are wanting to take these kids and make them their family. We need more.
We need more. Well, then that's going to be up to our viewing audience to bring those solutions. So let me say this. If you know anybody in your circle of love, your circle of influence and relationships that's even considering fostering or adopting, stop right now and contact us at 501-594-5200. I know this is a late night television show, but leave a message or go to our Facebook page or go to our website, because you or your friends may be the solution to one of those 290 children that are desperately looking for someone to be the answer to their prayers.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, there's a lot of moving parts that are going on in fostering right now. And one thing that we are right now, as we are taping this show, is we have been contacted, along with some other organizations, just a very small handful, to help bring solutions to relief, what we call respite fostering.
Yes.
Can you tell me what a respite foster parent does?
So a respite foster parent is going to be a temporary foster parent. That means that they would have a kiddo or kiddos for maybe a day, 2 days. It shouldn't be any longer than a week unless there's an extenuating circumstance, and then up to 2 weeks at the most.
One example would be, we were just contacted yesterday or day before yesterday. There is a child who is a foster child, and they're with a foster family. And due to extenuating circumstances, that foster family has to take care of some personal business issues. And so we, Second Chance Youth Ranch, are going to provide respite or relief for that family for a period of approximately how many days?
It's
in
11
that case?
days on this particular one.
So that's a long one. But that's one of the things we and the other organizations are coming alongside foster families in the state of Arkansas to help them through a temporary situation or crisis.
Yeah, and I know that that may seem like, well, is that really that big of a deal?
It's
How much
huge.
does that help? But this is what it does, is it enables those foster parents to get the breaks they need to keep doing this for many years to come. We cannot all take a child in our home permanently or long term, but we can do a few days so that those who are committed to doing this long term can continue doing that. It really like girds up and wraps around these people who are real life heroes, who are giving everything they have, and that is needed.
I was having dinner at a restaurant this past weekend, and I was sharing about this respite opportunity, just an overnight or just a day to allow a foster family to do something that maybe came up at the last minute. It's kind of what we might call an emergency, or they just need a little time off. And I said, just a day or just a night, or maybe a child that's been removed from a home, they don't have a placement, and they just need a place for the night or for the weekend while they're finding a permanent placement. He looked at his wife, who's a doctor, and said, honey, do you think we could do that? We've got an extra room at our house. Her eyes lit up, and they said, we really need to talk about that and get more information.
Yeah,
And that's why this show's on the air.
right.
Is because we know God's speaking to people. I know He's stirring people's hearts, because I know one thing about Jesus. Well, I actually know a couple. But one thing I know about Jesus, He made room for children.
Yes, absolutely.
And when you share the heart of Jesus, He shares the treasuries of heaven to bring solutions to kids in care.
He does, absolutely. And you know, you touched on this a little bit, but so this program will give foster parents a break occasionally. The other thing it does is help some of these kids who are brand new in care, who have nowhere to go. So just imagine you're 8 years old or 7 years old, and you've been yanked out of your home, everything that you know, and you are your caseworker has nowhere to put you. So they sit in an office for hours with you, and you listen to them on the phone, calling person after person. Can you take this kid? No, I can't take this kid. Can you take this kid? No, I'm not available. And you hear no over and over again the day that you've been taken from your family.
Does anybody love me?
Yeah.
Does anybody care?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or let's say that child gets put in a shelter with 50 other kids. That is terrifying.
Yeah, traumatic.
Terrifying. These children need a loving, safe place to go while the caseworkers scramble and find a more permanent solution. But they need somewhere to go the moment they come into care where they can feel loved and safe.
Oh, if God would just use me. Well, here's your opportunity. Contact us right here at 2CYR-TV, and we tell you how you can be an answer to the prayers of a child. We'll be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I hope you enjoyed these breaks, as it gives you a chance to just reflect on what we talk about in every segment and to see children and opportunities to make a difference. We pray that this show specifically will get you in action.
Yes.
You know, you can go out and sit in a car, and if you don't start it, it ain't going nowhere.
Right.
I used to have a car. I lived in Jonesboro just a couple of about 3 blocks off of Main Street down by the American Legion hut beside a Pontiac dealership. And for some reason, there was an old shell of a car. No windshield, no doors, no steering wheel, nothing. And I would take my daddy's 5-gallon bucket and I would sit in the driver's seat on that 5-gallon bucket. And I drove all over the world in that car and never left the yard. A lot of people dream dreams and travel the world and live their dreams, and yet they never leave the yard. This is your opportunity to put it in gear.
Yes.
And we want you to engage with us at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. We're in our, December of 2021 was our 16th year celebration of receiving kids. We founded the ranch in '99 and started construction in 2000. So we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
But we're seeing God open up more and more opportunities for us and those ministries like us who love children and want to bring hope and life and stability to a child in a traumatic event being removed from their home. What kind of things did the ranch, Second Chance Youth Ranch specifically, did we do? Tell me some highlights of 2021. I know you probably don't know I was going to ask these questions. Do you have an idea of how many children we had in our care in 2021? Because we're really focusing on sibling groups, so we have a little more stability. They're staying a little bit longer than many of our kids that were coming in one at a time.
Some of our larger sibling groups we've had for nearly 2 years now, and so they're staying stable. You know, they're not bouncing from place to place. They're able to stay here a long time.
And
that's
those
what we
sibling
want.
groups, for many of them, the first time in foster care, they're in the same house together. Talk about being removed in the middle of the night. You've got 2 or 3 siblings, or in one case, our case, 7 siblings, and they're moved into 4 or 5 different foster homes.
It's almost another form of abuse, honestly.
Almost.
It's that traumatic
Traumatically
to them.
emotional, yeah.
Right. So 2021, it was a good year.
It was. I think the biggest thing, I think we've had less acuity with residential hospitals than we've ever had before.
That means less of our students in such a traumatic emotional state that they had to be put in a, quote, facility.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's real common in foster care with the trauma they have to deal with. But I think that the stability that we've had with our staff and the model that we're going with the sibling groups, it's really limited that. They feel loved, they feel like hope. We work really hard with their families as well to be able to get them back. We work where there's a team. It's a partnership like ours with DHS. We work really hard with the parents to get them on their feet to where they can successfully take their kids back. And I think that's probably our biggest deal, biggest success of 2021.
So tell me, in 2021, now we're in 2022, how many children do we have that live on our campuses, either in the community, the city of Bryant, or in our community out near Perrin on our acreage?
In our 2 campuses, which are the large sibling group homes, we have about, how many would you say?
30, you talking about the whole
33?
Yeah, about 30. And then off campus with families that we partner with in their own personal home, we have about 10 more probably.
So over 40 or 43, probably in the next 4 or 5 months, we'll have room for maybe 4 or 5 more children, which will put us up there quite a bit. And we have case managers, we have therapists, we have administrative staff, we have a network. I don't really like this term village because it smacks of a little bit of liberalism, but we are a community, we are networked. And now beyond our campus homes, our therapeutic homes in the community, which are where people have a job and they've opened up their home to 1 or 2 children, we provide that same network of support, that same counseling, case managers, etc. And now we're moving into helping foster families that are maybe not directly in our network, that just need a night off, a day off, an afternoon off, maybe a weekend off, meaning they have some personal issue where they want to be able to take care of that, and they just need a place for a brief period of time, or the child's out of the home, the case worker with DCFS, they need a place for that child while they're trying to find a permanent placement
Yeah.
in one of the homes in the state or a foster home.
That way those kids won't be rushed into the wrong placement. We can
Yeah.
take the time to find a family that's a really good match for them.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to say that again, because
Okay.
that is the key of, I think that's the key of our success.
Yes, yeah. It is so important that we're not rushing these children into the wrong placements.
Yeah.
We want to be able to take the time to find a family that's a good match for that child so they can be successful. Because every time you go to a foster home and it doesn't work out because your behaviors are too much for them to handle, or their biological kids don't get along with the foster kid, or whatever the reason is, that child has to be removed. And they have to lose everything that they've worked to establish
And
in
here
that
we
home.
go again.
It's a whole nother trauma. If we're going to be taking kids out of their homes, we have to give them something better. We have to give them a quality of care that is life-changing, or else why did we even remove them?
Let me use a simple example. It may not be the best example. I grew up in a foster home. My mom was a foster mother, and so kids came to us in the middle of the night all the time. I walked on at North School in Jonesboro. I'm 5 years old. For some reason, I didn't turn November, I turned 6, but somehow Mom got me in school in the first grade. And I remember walking on the campus. I'm 5 years old, and I don't know anybody. And I'm a country boy, and I'm going to school in town, and I remember how lonely I felt.
Yes.
And I can equate that a tiny bit, and maybe you can, being in a new school, going from elementary to middle school, or middle school to a big high school, and just that sense of I don't know anybody, I'm lonely, or you move to another town. Think about being taken out of your family's home in the middle of the night. That's traumatic, and we want to bring solutions, and we're believing, God, that you're part of that solution through your gift, through your prayer, and through your mentoring, fostering, or even adopting. We're going to take a break and be right back with Billy and Rachel and tell you how you can get connected. We'll be right back.
My name's Summer and I'm 15.
My name is Xander and I'm 12. I love sports, especially basketball and football. My favorite team in basketball is probably the Brooklyn Nets, and my favorite team in football would probably have to be Green Bay.
I like to be with friends most of the time. I like school. My favorite subject is probably English.
I don't so much like school, but I like activities, like PE.
I hopefully either want to become a care coordinator for DHS or possibly become a nurse practitioner. I feel like kids need someone that has been there and been through the experience that they're going through, someone who can relate to them and be there for them.
I want to go to the NBA or the NFL.
I'm in care because of neglect and not being able to have a stable home. In a forever home, I want to be able to have more privileges. I want to be able to do things that I would be able to do if I was really at home. Someone who cares for me, someone who's going to be there through thick and thin, that's not going to judge me on the past.
I just want a family that like won't judge us, because like whenever we first get there, just because we're new, and like we'll just fit like right in.
My favorite thing about him is, even though I can be rude and I can be crabby at times, he understands what I go through, and he understands that the things that I say to him, and when I'm rude and I am hard on him, that it's all out of love, and I'm only doing it because I believe that's what's best for him.
The thing I really love about my sister is no matter what, she's always there for me.
It's been hard being separated, not being able to have him and be there for him when he's upset.
Because we're so far and we really don't get to call each other because we have our own schedules. So like I might be doing something, but then she's free, so she'll want to call. But then whenever I'm free, she'll be doing something. So we had to have everything already planned out.
I don't want them to adopt me because they feel sorry for me, but I want them to adopt me because they want to see what I'm capable of and they want to see me grow.
I want them to be there for us. And like she said, not just choose one of us, choose both of us, because in different ways we are always equal.
I would wish to be with my brother.
If I could wish for one thing, it'd be to, no matter what, always be able to be around my sister. Like, I don't want to lose her, because we've already lost enough people.
Hey, welcome back. You know, we're so blessed that you take this time to watch this program. This program is so important to keeping foster care, mentoring, and adopting, and what we call relief or respite care in the forefront of the viewers of Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. And I want to take a moment and say thank you to Victory Television Network for being a partner.
Yes.
Making this possible. Television is so expensive, yet what is a life worth?
Right.
Priceless.
What is the future of a student that's in trauma, a child, a teenager, a young adult, to find people in this state that watch this program and want to make a difference? Now, we started the show talking about relief house parenting and this new paradigm. That's 20 cents, you know, a paradigm. This new paradigm that's shifting in foster care, where foster parents are needing relief.
Yeah.
So I want to reiterate, Rachel, relief fostering means I don't have to quit my job. I don't have to come on staff anywhere. I just have an extra room, a bedroom, and a spot in my heart for kids in care.
Yes.
And I know right now there are children who are now adults. You were raised in foster care. Maybe your experience wasn't the best. Why don't you help us bring a solution then?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's so many people out there who have a heart for fostering and would want to do that, but that commitment of having a child in their home long term and not knowing how it's going to affect their family, not knowing if they can keep up with the responsibilities and do everything that child needs, it keeps them from saying yes. This is a way to truly make a difference, but not have that same level of commitment. I mean, if you get a kid in your house and it's really hard and they're not a great fit for you, they're gone in a couple days. So anybody can do anything for a few days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the ministry of it, to be, especially for these emergency placements, okay, to be that person who welcomes this child in the day that they've come into care, the day they've lost everything, and you are the one who shows them it's going to be okay.
And kids that come into care are all ages.
All ages, babies to teenagers.
We received a group of 7, and we found a place on our campus for that host sibling group.
Yes.
Now, the infants are with another family that's in our network, but all 7 of them are with us.
Yeah.
And those 5 siblings, the older ones, they're all in the same home. So you've been taken out of your home, it's a traumatic event, but a respite family possibly, most likely wouldn't get 5, 6, or 7. A lot of times it's that one child that we're bringing in here in just a few days for 10 or 11 days.
Yeah.
And that's typically longer than what we're talking about.
Right.
And we're not talking about just relief fostering for our families. We're
Right.
talking about families in the community, maybe a family in your church that you didn't even realize was fostering. So there's a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
And in most cases, there is some sort of financial assistance so that it's not a financial burden to bring a child in for a day or two, or to take them out for pizza or ice cream after church. There's a lot of things that we can do. And all we're asking you to do is to investigate that. Contact us at 501-594-5200. We can't possibly explain all the opportunities to change lives in a very brief television program.
If you want to be involved, though, you can do anything from babysitting for a few hours to becoming a therapeutic foster parent to becoming a campus foster parent. The need is so great. And when DHS called us and they asked us to do this respite care, I said, well, about how many homes are you needing? Like in Central Arkansas, how many would you want us to open as respite homes? And she said, absolutely as many as you possibly could. That's how great the need is.
Yeah, and things have changed a lot in the foster care system in the last couple of years, creating some real opportunities. We might call them crises, but we'll just call them opportunities, because for every foster family that drops out of the system because of lack of support and encouragement,
And respite care,
and
lack of respite care.
then that's a home that's no longer available for a child to go to. And this is your opportunity to be a respite. Find out more about that. How can we help answer your questions? That's the key. You know, it's the fear of the unknown. Well, what happens if it doesn't work? That's all right. And it's not going to work for everybody.
Right.
But we're not going to leave you dangling out there on your own. We're going to set you up for success.
That's correct.
And set that child up for success. And I'm telling you, I drive on this campus where we have 400 children and teenagers on campus every day. I drive on yesterday, I was over on our ranch campus, which is adjacent to the church in Bryant, and I see children. And when I'm tired, when I'm dealing with pressures, I know you're probably shocked, but when I'm dealing with stuff, you know what? All I have to see is a child with a smile. And it doesn't get rid of the stress or the pressures, but it keeps me focused on why I'm still doing what I'm doing. And Billy, what's it like being at the ranch? You got a minute.
Man, I was thinking about this today when on the way in. You know, we had a couple snow days recently, and you know we're so busy with the DHS. You've heard all the things that we're just so busy with. And when we first, I guess, signed up for this thing, we was wanting to help kids,
Yeah.
you know. And now God has given us a lot more responsibilities, and it's 24/7 with not just kids but adults and administrative buildings and all. But everything's shut down. Everything's shut down for a while. We were sledding and doing snowmen and playing and just seeing them. I've never done this before. I've never done this before. And like, man, I wish we had more snow days, you know? And it's just very impactful. And I forget what your question was, but it was just, it's an awesome experience to be able to pour into these lives and experience first with some of these kids.
Well, for the first 3 or 4 years, y'all were foster parents.
Yes.
And I reached out to you and said, I want you to take over as daily operations director, overseeing all of the program. And like everybody else, y'all were like, yeah, but we just love being with the kids, and this is our heart and a passion. And I made some comment, didn't I, about, well, you can reach 6 at a time, or you can reach 60 or more at a time.
You did.
And that's what I want you to think about. We're not asking you to do the giant task. One heart, one life at a time can change the destiny of a child for a lifetime and maybe even for eternity as they come to meet the Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you for watching this show. Please contact us at 501-594-5200 or 2CYR-TV or 2CYR.org. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.